Thank you everyone for attending. I'd like to call this regular council meeting to order. You have in front of you an agenda item. Is there any approval? Is there any additions or deletions from the agenda as circulated? Madam CAO.
Mr. Chairman, I submit to council for their consideration the following additions to the agenda. Item 4.2, repeal of the solid waste resource collection and disposal bylaw S-088-19, first reading. Item 4.3, solid waste resource and collection bylaw S-088-20, first reading. Item 4.4, ratification of the addition of Councillor Trevor Cunningham as a signing officer to the municipality of the District of Yarmouth. And item 4.5, ratification of the request for decision on the joint aquatics project with the municipality of Argyle and the town of Yarmouth.
Just hold on, my hand doesn't write that fast. All right, you have all heard the suggested agenda additions to our agenda. Is there any more additions? If not, I'd approve a motion to accept the agenda as circulated with the additions.
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Councillor Patty Durkee. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Daniel Allen. Motion on the floor to approve the agenda with the additions. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, everyone. My apologies. My teeth seem to be coming out of my mouth, so I'm having a little bit of trouble speaking right now. Item number 3, declaration of conflict of interests. Please be noted in the agenda minutes that I am declaring a conflict of interest in items 4.2 and 4.3 that were added. Therefore, I'm asking Councillor Trevor Cunningham, when those 2 items come up, that he please take over chairmanship of the meeting, and I'll be stepping away from the table, and then I'll resume the meeting at item 4.4, the ratification of council. So, moving on, is there any other declarations of conflict of interest? Hearing none. Item 4, business. 4.1, first reading of the alternative voting bylaw. Madam CAO.
Mr. Chairman, it was recommended by committee of the whole that council make a motion to approve first reading of the alternate voting bylaw.
You all heard that, Councilor? For the first reading of the alternative voting bylaw. Moved by Councillor Trevor Cunningham. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Daniel Allen. The motion on the floor. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. Item 4.2, I have declared a conflict of interest at items 4.2 and 4.3. Please be noted in the records that I am stepping away from the table, and Councillor Trevor Cunningham will be resuming the meeting for those 2 items.
Right, so I'll entertain a motion from the floor for the repeal of the solid waste policy or bylaw S-088-19. Moved by Lauren Cushing, seconded by Gerard LeBlanc. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next, 4.3, I'll look for a first reading for approval of the solid waste bylaw S-088-20. You have a mover for that?
So moved.
Patty Durkee, Councillor Durkee, seconded by Daniel Allen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much. So I'll return the chair to our deputy warden.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Please be noted in the record that I returned to the meeting, and starting off with item 4.4, ratification of Councilor Trevor Cunningham as a signing authority for the Municipality District of Yarmouth. Do I have a motion in that regards? Moved by Councilor Daniel Allen. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Lauren Cushion. You all have in front of you the motion. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. All right, moving on to item 4.5. Ratification of Council Joint Aquatics Project. I'm going to have to defer this motion to the Madam CAO, what the motion should read, because I could not write it all down in front of me when we had the additions to the agenda. So Madam CAO, if you wouldn't mind, or Councilor Cunningham, I see your hand up. Would you have that motion?
Yeah, I think I've got it. So I'll move that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth approve a joint aquatic facilities committee with the town of Yarmouth and the municipality of Argyle.
And the name of the committee, just for clarification, Mr. Chairman, will be referenced in our records as Yargyle 2024.
Thank you. And I'll add that to the motion.
All right, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Daniel Allen. Is there any discussion on the motion? Madam CAO?
Just for clarification, please, Mr. Chairman, we may require a follow-up motion to confirm who Modi's representatives will be at that committee.
Absolutely. We'll have that discussion when those motions are made. Okay, so there is a motion on the floor, and as soon as we are done with this motion, we'll move on to possible second motion in regards to appointments to those committees. So a motion on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Okay, we'll move on to make that an item 4.5.1 in regards to appointments to those committees. If I remember correctly, Madam CAO, that when we had the discussion of the original group of 9, that they were going to be moving off into possibly two separate committees, a subcommittee. If you may fill us in, Madam CAO, it'd be appreciated.
Sure. So it wasn't a group of 9. When the units in Yarmouth County were pursuing a possible funding stream for a new aquatics facility, we created an ad hoc committee called the Mariner Center Expansion Steering Committee. And at that time, it was council's wishes to have the warden and the deputy warden represent the District of Yarmouth in that work. Given, all of the time that has passed and how things have changed in our community, what is being recommended and what you've approved is this creating Yargyle 2024. And Yargyle 2024 will have 2 tasks. And it's being recommended that the deputy warden and Councillor Daniel Allen, who is our board member at the Mariner Center, represent Modi on Yargyle 2024. And then at that level, they'll determine who's going to work on what pieces. But in the request for decision, you'll see that generally it will be expected that Councillor Daniel Allen will represent Modi on the details of crafting and recommending a bridge solution, and that the deputy warden will represent the municipality on the details and crafting a recommendation on the new build project submission that will go to government.
And also one other thing that should be noted, Council, is I've been nominated and elected as chair of that in the absence of Warden Anthony, so it should be noted in the records on that as well. So is anyone, you've all heard the rationale from the CAO in regards to this new committee. Would anyone like to make a motion on that regard? Councillor Lauren Cushing.
I'll certainly make a motion that Daniel Allen sets on that committee, as well as, of course, our deputy warden. to oversee any aspects of the expansion at Mariner Center.
Your motion on the floor, do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Patty Durkee. Is there any discussion on the motion? Before I call it to the question, I'd just like to make a comment. I'm certainly glad that the municipality district of Yarmouth is going to be, well, actually, since I'm going to be chairing that committee, I'm very pleased because I had always stated that one of the big concerns that I've had across the municipality district of Yarmouth is they would like to see an expansion on the Mariner Center. And I had committed many months ago that I would certainly lead that charge. Well, now I have that chance to lead that charge. And I'm certainly going to be working on very hard to making sure that this project moves forward as quickly as possible in a seamless transition. So thank you very much, Councillor. If there's no more discussion on the motion, I'd entertain the question on the motion. Question being called. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, everyone. There's no in-camera recommendations to this council meeting. Is there any more items of business? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Daniel Allen. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Lauren Cushion. Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary? Thank you very much, Council.